Welcome back to the weekend show. Joining me are correspondents Ina Peters and Odiri. How are you, ladies?
Great. Great. Just getting my groove on.
What's going on? You're like, great.
Great.
Do you really feel great, or you're just?
Yeah, the women won the Nations Cup, and finally, someone decided to give them some millions of naira.
Please, let's start with sports because I'm hearing money, I'm hearing victory. Let's go to sports because the political scene is not as interesting as this. Tell me, what happened over the week?
So, after the show last week, we had the final in the Nations Cup. It was, we were going for our 9th title and we won. Yeah, it wasn't a great championship or title winning campaign, but it was, but let's just say that the girls did enough to win. They had the experience, so they were able to get the win, so that was good. Now, after the Nations Cup title, there was the CAF 11. We have to talk about that later on in the sports segment. But we came back and there was news everywhere that Dangote and Nico Dangote is trying to give the girls 50 million naira.
Each?
And no!
I was about to say, I need to start playing soccer. Like,
there is
really?
no sport where you get 50 million naira each.
You never, I mean, it's Dangote. He might as well. He has the money.
So we can appeal right now.
Exactly.
We wouldn't mind if the
I'll
girls can
Haji
get 50 million.
Dangote. Give the girls 50 million each and us as well for
Yes.
appealing on the behalf.
We're talking about it. So,
I'm here for that, really.
okay, well, congratulations to the girls.
Congrats to the girls. That's
It's
amazing.
getting harder and harder to win. You know, it's easy to get to the top.
Yeah.
Staying there, that's the problem. So
Yeah.
it's a 9th title, and as much as it was like there was some bad blood because of the performance, the truth is that they pushed themselves just over the line and they got the title. So yes, we know that for the next one, probably have a huge fight on our hands. But for now, let's enjoy the celebration while it
Oh my
lasts.
gosh, I'm
Alright.
so proud of our girls.
What else happened?
Yeah, also in sports. Yeah, boxing on the Sunday morning, early, Wilder against Fury. Disappointed it ended in a draw.
I watched that. I think Wilder should have won that.
No, I disagree with you. Fury should have
Are you
won.
kidding? Wilder knocked him to the
Gypsy
ground
King,
twice.
The Gypsy King. Without the knockout, Fury would have won. He was really good. He outpunched Wilder, 84-71.
Oh no, I disagree.
Well,
I disagree.
I actually saw the story, but from a different angle. So, Deontay Wilder now is challenging Anthony Joshua, and Anthony Joshua has finally agreed for a fight. So, who do you think will actually win in that fight?
Funny enough, Wilder and Joshua have been dancing. What did he say? Is it Azonto? They've been dancing about having a fight together.
Yeah.
And okay, so everybody's finally, we decided that okay, after the Fury fight, the winner will fight Joshua. No, there was no winner. So maybe they finally agreed on the Wilder Joshua fight. But I'm sure, I can assure you that there will still be drama about the Wilder Joshua fight. They just keep going back and forth over it. But I'm thinking that it will not be good for Wilder, because my problem with Wilder is he's not as let's just say he's not as grounded in the he doesn't take his time to plan his onslaught, his moves. So he just wants to look for that angle where he can give you one knockdown, gets you one knockdown, 2 knockdowns, then the third one probably you're knocked out. That's what he's going for now. These British guys know that. That's why he couldn't win with Fury, and he didn't get that with Fury, and then also I doubt he'll be able to beat Joshua. Joshua is really, really intelligent in the boxing ring, so it's going to be difficult for
Plus
Wilder.
the fact that, I'm also going to marry Joshua, so
Okay.
Team Joshua.
Breaking
Team
news.
Joshua.
Breaking news for me.
Breaking news.
So, with these fights, actually, like, I wonder how are you able to just know, who is going to win? The way people like someone like Odiri now, how she's able to predict these things. Like, how
Did
do
you
they
predict
do it?
a draw?
A draw? No.
Okay.
that
Who
was
did you
not-
think was going to win?
I actually thought that Wilder was going to knock him out. Why?
Because Fury just came out of retirement.
Exactly,
Or-
that was why.
yeah.
I felt he needed some time to get back into it. So maybe the Wilder fight will help him
That's why I
get
still
back onto his
insist Wilder
feet.
should have won that fight.
There was nothing Wilder
didn't
could
think
have
it was
done.
fair that it was a draw, because I thought he fought a better match than Tyson Fury.
Yes, he did. But to me, the testament for Fury is the fact that after the 2 knockdowns, the judges still weren't convinced enough to give Wilder the victory. It's a testament to the fact that
Well,
the
right
Gypsy
after
King
the
was really
match
good in that
ended,
match.
one of the people who were commenting said that was a complete daylight robbery.
Yeah.
Then
even
he
the
changed
British-
his mind afterwards, after the interview with Wilder.
The British said it was a complete robbery. Then the Americans said they couldn't believe that Fury came and stole stole that fight from under their noses. So if we can argue from now till next year, to 2022, they will still not. Each side will say I was supposed to win it, and the other side will say I was supposed to win it.
Is there a rematch?
Yeah, a rematch is definitely on the cards. It's coming up. I don't know exactly when. They will probably come up with the time, but it's definitely on the works. I have a little sympathy for Wilder. I think by the time they'll have a rematch, Fury will be better and sounder, and it's going to be difficult for him.
And
I think he's going to lose his belt then.
When he's winning.
Okay, honest to God, I don't like it, but that's what makes him Fury. It's part of his personality.
Awesome. Anything else in sports?
Yeah, the CAF Champions League, CAF Confederations Cup, we're through to the first round, so we'll be playing the first round in December. After that, if we can get through the first round, we'll go to the group stages, but a good one for the guys, Lobby Stars and Enugu Rangers for qualifying to the next round of the CAF Champions League and the CAF Confederations Cup. And we'll be talking about athletics, also in sports. We'll also touch down on the goals of the week, and we have the match of the weekend.
I can't wait. That's my favorite. Goals of the week. I always look forward to that. I can't wait for the sports segment coming up.
Your cousin scored.
My cousin who?
Okay, it's not your cousin. Leon Balogun.
I would thought maybe I have, a cousin that's a superstar.
You didn't know about it.
I was like really waiting to.
Okay, what happened in entertainment?
A lot. So on Thursday, fans were really sad, to find out that Ricardo Banks is going to, but Friday actually, is going to be leaving Maven Records. Now, this, came as a shock to a lot of us. Although some persons were saying they saw the signs, but I didn't see any sign. But I think it was on a good note. He tendered, a very emotional post on Instagram, saying Don Jazzy is more like a father to him. He talked about, how Maven, they really have your back. You don't need to be blood for, people to just support you. And I think we've seen that over time with his career, Tiwa Savage, big names in the industry collaborating with him because, he has the Maven support.
So why is he leaving?
He's like, it's time to chase other opportunities. And if I'm being honest, what opportunities? Like,
is he leaving music or?
No. Maybe to go to another record label or yeah, that's usually what they do. But when he said
children
bigger
before you run,
bigger opportunities, I was like, I think Maven is fantastic for you because we still have Tiwa Savage and Maven that is doing so well. So if you have an international star in your record label, what are you going out to do? But anyways, we cannot.
And with all the talk, Don Jazzy is like a father. Maven is a big family. I know that he probably thought it's. Maybe he thought it well, true, because before he made that kind of decision. But I still don't think that was the right one. Everyone wants to run out and start up a record label. Not everyone is successful with a record label at the end of the day. You have to start from scratch. I'm not saying don't try to start. Please start something. But would it have been so bad if you just wait a little while, a little longer? Yes, once you're 18, you can go have your home, have a job. But why don't you wait till you're 21?
Well, there's also
how old is he?
No, I'm not talking about his age. Just an example. Like if you're adult and you're 18.
How old is
Ricardo? No idea too. Okay. But he's quite young. So there's also another thing that people are also speculating online. So when your contract is over, there's that option of renewing your contract if it comes to you or it doesn't. So now if your label does not want you to renew your contract, then that means you have to go. So no one really knows was there an offer or not, but what we know is that Ricardo Banks is not going to be.
For me, the good thing is that there was no bad blood.
Yes, there's none as of this moment. There's none at all. Moving on, so if you Get Money singer,
hide your face.
Yeah, Small Doctor was actually arrested earlier this week. And a very sarcastic story because Small Doctor happens to be a police ambassador. So apparently,
is that him?
Yes, that's him.
Oh, wow.
So apparently Small Doctor and some of his friends were stopped by police officers in Lagos, and Small Doctor actually was carrying an armed firearm, and he actually used it to threaten a police officer. Oh, yeah, it was that serious. But
he took his ambassadorship very seriously.
Yeah, so people said he actually thought, maybe he's one of them or something. So there was it was more like these people were armed robbers until the police actually apprehended them and saw that, oh, this is Small Doctor. So he was arraigned as a magistrate court in Ebute Metta in Lagos State, and he was released with a warning. So I really hope that he takes note of
Let's
you know,
hope the
this.
warning
What was he
sticks.
thinking?
I have no idea. And you know, when I heard the news, I was like, oh, okay.
Has
So
he
no
released a
Christmas-
statement?
He hasn't. Nothing at all. I think there should be an apology.
To the police?
I just hope he's not on
Public.
drugs, because
public.
why would you be carrying an unlicensed, I'm guessing it was
Brandishing
unlicensed
it.
firearm,
Yes.
and threatening the police when you're in your
Yeah.
right
Right.
faculty? So
Yeah.
I highly doubt that, and I think it's something his fans should question.
Exactly. That's why, you know, I feel like they deserve an apology, because you are supposed to be, you know, a lot of celebrities say, oh, I'm nobody's role model, but guess what? You are. There are people that look up to you. So
Yeah.
you
It's
owe
not a
it
matter
to
of choice,
your
is
young
it?
fans.
It's
not a
not
matter of
actually.
choice.
It's not. It's a
This is your
position that
job.
you assume once you're out there.
Yeah.
But aside, if you don't get money, hide your face. What other song has he sang?
One other, I don't know the song, but you know, it's a Pemba is me says something. And you know, he makes all
Oh,
this.
that oing, oing.
Yes, that oin song. If this year we go blow next
Yeah,
year.
and I know the story. I know the story.
All I heard was oink, oink, oink.
We started small, doctor. I mean, it's not easy, right? And over to the foreign scene. So a very big story. So U.S. comedian and actor Kevin Hart, you know, made an announcement that he was going to be hosting next year's Oscar, and we're all happy for him, right? A black man doing well in 2019, and how the Oscars now is becoming so inclusive and, you know, and just no longer white, right? And then just on Thursday, Kevin Hart released a statement that he's no longer going to be hosting the Oscars because of some tweets that were brought back. You know, so the thing about internet trolls, they actually exist. So these people actually sit down and then go and check when something good is happening
for you to hammer.
They go back. I mean, I'm talking about tweets that he made as far back as 2009.
Whoa.
Yes, and they brought everything back. Some homophobic tweet, you know, saying, oh, one day his son wanted to play with his daughter's toy, and then he's like, no, that's what gay people do. And, you know, Kevin is like, so the Academy just called and said I should tender an apology, or they're going to have to, you know, give the hosting job to another person. He's of the opinion that he has apologized, you know, about those particular comments several times, like time and time again. So he cannot continue to allow his past, you know, just affect his future. And the good thing is, so a lot of celebrities have been, you know, supporting him. We've seen Tank come out to say, look, we should start judging people based on the fact that Kevin Hart is a good human being, right? He's apologized for these tweets, and I think it's time to move on. And people are now even calling for Ellen DeGeneres, you know, as a huge member of the LGBTQ community and someone that's also hosted the Oscars. A statement from her would actually go a long way to...
I think the most interesting perspective of this issue was that the response on social media. A lot of people had said, first of all, we had to tolerate the LGBTQ community.
Yes.
Then we had to accept them. And now they're giving us issues
Okay.
for the way that we
Our-
speak,
exactly,
the
our
way
own
that
opinions.
our own
Yeah.
opinions regarding them. So I think it's something that's very interesting. I remember having the conversation with family, and they said there was a grand agenda to push this lesbian, gay, non-conformist or whatever they call themselves now, agenda out there. It's integrated into our cartoons.
Yes.
You have to be very careful what your children are consuming. You think they're just watching cartoons, but you see characters of the same sex mingling together. And we're not going to go into the discussion whether we believe gay rights should be allowed or whatever. We live in a country where you get 14 years in prison if you're gay. We're not saying whether that's right or wrong. That's not the topic of today's discussion. But it's also accepting the opinions of other people who are not in support of the LGBTQ. It's their right. It's their, you know, decision whether or not to support. So I think that was also a different perspective that I appreciated. The fact that people no longer are waking up to the fact that they can no longer voice their opinions freely without a backlash from, you know, society, especially the international community.
Very
I feel terrible for Kevin because he came out so excited announcing this opportunity. He said it was something that he looked forward to for years. And I remember I said to my mom, I said, this is why you don't announce your success before it actually happens.
Oh, that's the African mentality.
Oh, girl, I will wait till I do that thing before I tell you about
So
it.
you
I'm not.
announced it after you hosted?
Oh yes, I wouldn't tell
Maybe
you.
on that day, because you can't do anything.
Yeah,
at
I
that
wouldn't
point.
tell
They can give you a
you
call
that
before
this
the
is
show.
happening. I'll tell you afterwards, like this happened. Hallelujah. Praise Master Jesus.
Well, I just feel, I just feel that the guys in the Oscars are being too uptight about it. If you have the time to go and be worried about what he tweeted in 2009, you should have the time to check the fact that he has actually apologized over and over again.
Exactly.
Give people chances,
Exactly,
people.
and that's what he kept on saying.
And also the young people should learn manners. Don't say something because you're not known. Don't say something because you're not known. And then you, maybe in the next 10 years, become someone else.
That's
and then
a very
it comes back
important
to
point
bite
to
you.
take from this. A lot of people, young people on social media, you think you might just be tweeting now and enjoying yourselves. It's therapeutic, sending out anything out there. But your tweets today, if you want to become president tomorrow, you want to become minister, your tweets will haunt you. I remember Governor Errol-Fai of Kaduna State, there were some Christian tweets that he sent out during the Jonathan administration. Until this very day, people are bringing it out, showing his hypocrisy when he's talking about some religious issues now that he's governor. So you have to be very careful what you put out there, because it will come back and haunt you. Anything else from entertainment?
So I'm sure you heard this one because everyone is talking about it. US rappers Cardi B and Offset are going to file for a divorce. Now, Cardi B released a video on Tuesday, saying that she's no longer going to be with Offset. They've tried, but they're good friends and great business partners, and of course, they have a child together. So, yeah.
Cardi B, by the way, is the person who sang Bodak Yellow, and for I think up to a year, everyone was obsessed with that song.
Yeah.
She did so well from Love and Hip Hop. She grew her career as an artist, and it's quite unfortunate. Although some people think it's a marketing ploy, because
his album is dropping next
and she
week,
has a single coming out as well.
Exactly.
So who knows?
To me, I honestly think it's a publicity stunt. I'm being honest with you.
Sure.
I feel so, really, but everyone is carrying it, and pretty much. And then there was this lady, he had something to do with. So that was even what made me, convinced that maybe this is actually happening, even though I'm still like 60-40.
But he's been cheating, right? So
yes, so like a lady, one of his side
pieces.
Edible catering
pieces.
Said that she came out and she made a video and she was apologizing. She was actually crying that, she didn't think that they were seriously, that she didn't think their marriage was serious. And I'm like, okay. That's actually what she said. She didn't think their marriage was serious. I'm telling you.
But men will tell you anything. They'll tell you it's not really a marriage. It's just an agreement to live in the same house and rear children. But we're not married. We're not really married. In the
so she came out and apologized, taking something from another woman, but we'll see.
I think everyone in that situation are adults. They went into it consciously knowing what they were doing, so they have to deal with the consequences. I thought it was very mannish of him to post after Cardi. He said, "Y'all won." I'm like, you caused this.
Yeah, you did actually.
So, really interesting things in entertainment and politics. Ooh, my friend and brother, Deji Adeonju, has been granted bail to the tune of 500,000 naira by Chief Magistrate Court in Abuja. We're thankful to everyone on social media who clamored for his release. This was very, very, very sensitive issue. A lot of people were worried about what would happen to him while he was in the custody of the police, because he was first of all released, then rearrested for charges on terrorism and some very trivial, flippant charges brought against him. But that's my opinion, and thank God we have freedom of speech to share it. Workers shut down National Assembly complex, stopping lawmakers from sitting as they demand no alert, no plenary. Let's take a look. Okay, I think we're having some technical issues. We'll bring you that video at a later time. But basically, the National Assembly staff had protested that if they don't get their payment, they were not going to let any sitting happen at the National Assembly.
I think in this country, everything, I wouldn't say everything is falling apart, because the NLC is trying to get minimum wage increased. ASU is trying to get their wages also sorted out, and also facilities at the university sorted out. And now the National Assembly staff, they're also saying they need their wages. That's a problem. And I think it has to do with the foundation of the country. We need to go back down and work it up and work it out. So, because who is, first, let's even look at it. Who is responsible for this? Is it the admin, there's a permanent secretary with the National Assembly? Are they the ones in charge of ensuring?
So that has been an ongoing argument. Is it the executive arm of government that needs to pay? Is it the Senate President that needs to? And I saw the video of the Senate President trying to quell the agitation, and they were not having it. He was speaking and they were like, no.
I think, you know, it happens, it's not just the National Assembly, states. I know last week there was a story online of a state House of Assembly staff that actually committed suicide. So, you know, so it's not just at the national level, it's happening everywhere, states. And I mean, last year, I know it was in Kogi State, it was really horrible, you know, bad there. But it's the different states, basically. So, you know.
The Lord have mercy on us. DSS parades, this video broke my heart. DSS parades Amina Mohammed for allegedly impersonating the wife of the President Aisha Buhari at Aso Rock Presidential Villa to stage fraudulent attacks. So the media, I still do not get how in a sane society the media or the DSS, or in collaboration with the DSS, will parade someone who hasn't been proven guilty by any competent court of law in front of thousands, millions of people, and snatching off her cloth from her face when the lady was trying to, you know, cover up herself. They snatched off her cloth. She hid under the table crying that you guys leave me alone.
You will not do this to me.
You will not do this to me. And they kept on
horrible.
torturing her. I just do not understand that. That is illegal. You can't parade a suspect. A suspect. She hasn't been convicted of anything, you know, in front of people, millions of people. And I just don't get it. Look at the video.
And was even
You will not do that to me. You will not do that to me. You will not do that to
Madam.
me. Stop it. Stop it. The whole Nigeria is watching. Stop it. You will not do that to me. Stop it. Stop it. You will not do that. I'm a citizen of this country. I'm not a hangover. You will not do that to me. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. You will not do that to me. 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 You will not do that to me.
It's quite unfortunate. As I said, that's barbaric to say the least. You can see the torture, the unfair treatment of a fellow citizen. She said, I'm a citizen of Nigeria. You know, you can't do this to me. I don't know why anyone would think this is acceptable.
It's totally not.
It's...
I think even the pressmen that were there, I feel like the heads of their stations should actually, you know, do something about it, because you have to correct your staff. You know, they've gone wrong. So I feel like if we just let it slide, that's not even reporting. That's not even good reporting. Like, no, that is not.
It's an antecedent that we shouldn't encourage at all. It's, how can you, she says, look, it's her right. She's not lost her right, has she?
She's a suspect.
And she hasn't been proven guilty. That's, I think, the most, you know,
how can you just, she says she doesn't want you to take
this.
off her scarf. Simple. Why touch her? Leave her alone.
It's quite unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate. But moving on, 45 political parties, I could still hear the video, but 45 political parties have adopted Atiku Abubakar, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, as their flag bearer. If you remember, earlier on, they formed this coalition of United Political Parties, COP, to merge forces to ensure that one candidate emerges rather than the whole 91 that are registered. So they finally adopted Atiku as their presidential candidate. We saw this coming. A lot of smaller parties had pulled out earlier because they believed that PDP was going to dominate the scene, and that's exactly what has happened. But moving on, Aisha Buhari accuses two powerful men. I watched this video. I thought it was very interesting. As the ones responsible for President Buhari's slow progress. So She admitted that her husband has been making slow progress. However, it's attributed not to her husband, but to two powerful men that just wouldn't let the government thrive.
So on the social media, people were not like, okay, thank you very much. So we're not going to vote you in so that the two powerful men will continue to slow the progress. So the people on social media, they are not having this story. And people are asking names,
so
you know, who are these men? Let's help you, right?
Name them.
But, you know.
Definitely understand that aspect. You can't just, Muhammad Buhari is the president, right? So you cannot come out
You're
and
asking
tell
us, are you not sure?
You cannot come and tell us. No, because the statement says two powerful men have stopped him from making as much progress as she should.
Yeah.
So it's like you say, Osasu, do this thing, and you say, oh, Ina Nodiri stopped me from doing it.
Exactly.
That's an excuse.
The buck falls on his table.
Exactly.
Well, let me reserve my comment. Or according to some people, comment my reserve.
Yeah.
The court orders EFCC, DSS and police to arrest former Minister of Petroleum, Desiani Alison Madueke.
Now with this story, so I don't see it happening as soon as, you know, possible, because she has, you know, she's not in the country, and then Nigeria does not have jurisdiction over, you know, any country at all. There are international laws that have been put in place. So this happening, I don't see happening anytime soon.
So that's why the EFCC chairman, acting chairman, Ibrahim Magru, has said that the UK government is aiding Desiani's stay in the UK and is working against his, what do you call it, repatriation of Desiani.
Yeah.
And I think it's a very interesting allegation, Ibrahim Magru.
I don't think they're aiding anything. Sometimes people need a little push. What are you offering?
I think a lot of people are not used to following processes. It's not, unfortunately, I hate to say this, but it's not Nigeria. You just don't go and say, okay, I'm arresting this person. You're going to remain in.
We are friends.
We're going to remain in prison till, you know, you're proven not guilty. Like, it doesn't work that way. You have to go through processes. But interesting allegation, Ibrahim Magru. We wish you all the best in your extradition pursuit. Theresa May suffers 3 separate Brexit defeats in the House of Commons, including a damning amendment tabled by Dominic Grief, which rules out a no-deal exit. Ladies.
I just have a little sympathy for Theresa. It's not been going well at all.
For her, and you know, I'm serious, because I actually followed her election, you know, and because she's like the second female prime minister after Margaret Thatcher, right? And things are not really going well for her. So people, you know, there are rumors here and there and speculations that she might actually be forced to resign because it's not going well. It's not a smooth journey. It's not a smooth sail, you know, and she just has people, you know, just opposing her every single time. You can't count her wins, basically. And it's not
so while I'm pro-female leadership, pro-female at the helm of affairs, I'm also pro-competence.
Yes.
So if you don't have the capacity, the competence,
votes,
I was about to say something now. The power to do what it is you're meant to do as a leader, as a prime minister, then I believe you should have second thoughts about where you are.
Resign.
Yeah. So that's what I think. Very lastly, President Buhari rejects the electoral bill. We will be talking more about this on our political segment of the weekend show, but we have to go right now. We've run out of time. Up next is the lifestyle segment. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be a packed day. Stay with us.